Hello, welcome to this Klusterbox tutorial. I'm Tom Weeks. I'm the developer of Klusterbox, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to enter in new information for using SpeedSheets. So, kind of the old way. Let's for the sake of example, just create a new station. So we're going to call this one Klusterberg. Enter. So it's just a new fictitious station, and we're going to go to Klusterberg here. Let's reset it and then go to Klusterberg. Set. Okay, carrier list is empty. There's no information in here, and if you click reports, they're empty because there's nobody in there. Okay, so say you want to generate a speed sheet and you want to start entering in your carrier information. So two ways you can do this. Let's just use the generate all-inclusive, because that gives us the opportunity to enter in not just carriers but also clock rings. Okay, so we've got this, and so say we just want to start entering in carrier information, Mr. Alpha A, and his list is work assignment list. His NS day is Monday. His route is Route 9078. And his employee ID number, it's always a good idea to enter in the employee ID number using SpeedSheets, because it allows you to put them in the proper order as they appear in the employee everything report, but you don't have to do it. So let's say his employee ID number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so let's just give him this fictitious number, and it's going to show up as 100 here, but that's fine. Okay, and then let's enter in some clock rings for him. 8:01, no moves, and on Monday he was his NS day, so he worked 10 hours, and let's put NS day here because he worked on his NS day. And on Tuesday, he called in sick 8 hours. Okay, so we entered in 3 clock rings here. Save it. Always save it as an XLSX file. Always save it as in the Excel format. Okay, and we're going to input this information into the database. So make sure that you're entering in the right file. So reference the title bar here, the file document name, to the one you want to enter in. Okay, now it's reading the spreadsheet or reading the speed sheet, and it gives you this report. Okay, so you have it's entered in a new carrier, and let's see here. So this is where it's telling you it's possible new employee ID, entered in list status, NS day, route, employee ID number, and then these are telling you that it entered in the ring. What's important here about this report is that you see no fatal errors. So always check to see if you have fatal errors. Okay, no fatal errors here. And okay, so you close that report, and you can see that this all this information has been inputted into the database. So that carrier's there, the clock rings are there, the sick leave, the NS day, all that stuff is there. Let's go back, and that's about it, really. So let's destroy this one, or close it out. And actually, let's clear the archive, because you can always regenerate it. So now when we let's generate a carrier speed sheet. Okay, so this speed sheet has just carrier information on it, no clock rings. So there's only one carrier we have, and you can enter in new carriers any place you want, as long as there's a blank line. So let's call this guy Mr. Beta, Beta B. His list is OTDL. His NS day is Tuesday. Route is 9021. Let's, okay, enter in a new employee ID number. Okay, and save that. Okay, so let's save it again. Save it as an Excel file, very important. And input the database. Make sure that file name is correct. And again, okay, we've entered in a new carrier. 4 additions made. That's 4 fields. That's like the the different aspects of the record. That's not 4 carriers added. That's just 4 additions made to the database. So okay, we can close this out. Okay, now let's destroy this, or close it out, sorry. Clear the archive, and then regenerate the all-inclusive speed sheet. Okay, and we're going to see that these 2 carriers appear on the under the by employee ID number. So, and then alphabetically is empty because they both have employee ID numbers. And if we close this out, and then generate just the carrier one, it's going to generate a speed sheet with just the carrier information. So that's pretty much how you do it, and there are some peculiar aspects to this. Since I have some time, I can explain some. Let's see here. Let's generate it again. Let's generate the all-inclusive one. Okay, now you'll notice here on this line it says NS day preference, R for rotating, F for fixed, and I have mine set for R because I'm doing rotating. Most of the carriers at my station are rotating. In fact, all of them in this hypothetical example are rotating. So, but say you have just fixed days, and say you want to do it the fixed way. So you would go down to SpeedSheet settings, and this gives you some, let's close this out. This gives you, a preference if you want fixed or rotating, right? So say we want to change our preference to fixed, change that, and you can see down here that's the mode's been changed to fixed. And just ignore this one, but you can do a high or low setting or a default setting on the amount of rows you want. Yeah, I would actually recommend the low setting because it's your speed sheets are going to generate faster, and the checks are going to go faster. Everything's going to go faster, and if you run out of room, you can always add more rows. But these are just minimum rows. Okay, so let's go back and let's regenerate. The speed sheet. Now you'll notice on this one, since the NSDA preference is set to fixed, that this is kind of annotated now. Our Monday, our Mon, that denotes that it's a rotating Monday. And R Tuesday, that denotes that it's a rotating Tuesday because the preference is fixed. So if we had a new carrier, Charlie C, put him on the no list, and his NS day is going to be, I don't know, Monday. Route is 9085. Okay, it's not giving him an employee ID number, and we're going to save it. Okay, let's go to input to database. There we go. Okay, now we can see we've entered in a new carrier, Charlie, and they got their information there. So, okay, and close that report out, and there's Charlie right there. Okay, now if we click, okay, not on this one, but click edit, we can see his NS day is Monday fixed. And alpha, NS day is Monday rotating. So let's regenerate the speed sheet. And okay, now Charlie's not there because he doesn't have an employee ID number, so he's going to be under this alphabetical tab. But we can see here that his NS day is Monday, and there's no special notation there. But on these two carriers, there is that special notation. There's that R there because our preference is for fixed, and they are rotating. So let's close this out, go back to our settings, change our preference to rotating, change that, go back, regenerate the speed sheet, and so now you'll notice that these two carriers, Monday and Tuesday, there's no R in front of that, there's no it's just rotating because this is the R is the preference is for rotating. Now let's go to alphabetically, and you can see Charlie, since his NS day is fixed, you'll have that F in front of the NS day to denote that it's a fixed NS day. So it just gives you an idea of how this works, and all of this stuff is it's covered on the SpeedSheet cheat sheet right here, or kind of tells you how to denote that stuff. So it might be a little bit confusing at first, but it's a very simple process because fixed days and rotating days are different things. So SpeedSheets needs a system to handle that. Okay, that's all I'm going to cover for today, and thanks for watching, and happy union stewarding.